strong.
Hi, this is Joanne with Stuff to Discuss, and I am here with puppeteers. They got it going on, actually. So I thought we'd do something new. Sorry, Denise is not here today, but Jess is going to take her space, whatever information. We'll see what happens with it, and if not, we'll just wing it. It's going to be fun. So yeah, let's do this. So I'm going to introducing the two outstanding puppeteers, Kevin CARLSON, right, and Matt Shackelford. Is that how you say your last name?
Just go with Shaq.
Shaq. Okay,
it's easier.
I probably killed it. You know, Galuccio, which people killed our name Galuccio.
You did say it right.
No,
you
did?
said it right.
Oh.
Yeah, just
okay. I thought
Shaq's easier.
I thought I killed it. All right, so here is the first question, and this one is for both of you. So let's, the first question would be, what made you want to become a puppeteer? I'm pretty sure you guys have been asked this question lots and lots and lots of time. But, you know, for the viewers that are just watching, you know, just go for it.
You want to go first, Matt?
I'll go first because we'll save the best for last, Kevin.
Yeah, because Kevin, he's like, all right, come on, Matt, do it.
So what made me want to become a puppeteer?
Yes.
You know what? It's a lot of our puppeteer stories is just from the very beginning. It's like just playing with puppets as a kid, watching the Muppet Show. I grew up on Muppet Show and Fraggle Rock, and Timmy the Tooth even saw. I remember seeing some of those, and so
of course.
And it just you catch it. You catch the. I remember my first puppet as a kid. I got it for Christmas, and I had seen this little puppet stand in the mall, and they had all these monkeys and like the long arm ones that can wrap around you and Velcro around you. And I still have that to this day, Max the monkey.
You know, I had pretty much the same experience about puppets, you know, because I was, as a kid, you know, maybe 10, 11, 12, something like that.
Right.
Was when the Muppets were on television, and that's when I really fell in love with it. But before that, I was playing with G.I. Joes and creating scenes and making my imagination was going crazy for that.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
But it was the Muppet Show that really inspired me because there was a point where I was watching the show. And it's funny because, you know, my friends at that time, you know, would go, hey, come on, let's go out. Let's do something. And I would say, no, I'm going to watch the Muppet Show. So you guys go ahead. I'm going to stay home and watch the Muppets.
They're like, no, people's out there outside playing. Yes.
I mean, their humor, I related to the humor, you know, first of all. I mean, but then there was a dawning where I realized, well, there's guys underneath those puppets. They're not just moving by themselves. There's guys, and mostly guys. I mean, it kind of was a guys thing, you know. Mm-hmm. So that really intrigued me. Plus, I got involved with my church ministry, and I was part of a puppet team ministry for that, and I honed the craft with that. With Puppet Productions, remember those guys? Oh, they built the puppet. They San Antonio, I think that's where they are.
Were you with? Now it's funny because Justin was talking to Matt, I forgot his last name, but anyway, the actual
Vogel.
guy from
Matt Vogel.
Yeah, there you go. He was saying, we was talking to him, and he was saying that's how he started with the church. So that's why I brought this Matt in, because he was like, it seemed like a lot of puppeteers start from the church situation. So that or you know your beginnings. That's what I should say. And so this Justin too has also started from that.
I think it was also a way to get out of sitting in the church.
Yeah, there you go.
Do some puppet shows for kids and the whatnot. But I mean, because of that, I started to write puppet shows. In fact, my first one was Jonah and the Whale.
Oh.
And so it was like that kind of just set the stage for the craft, because it's something that's like, you know, anyone can pick up a saxophone and make noise, but can they make music, you know? So you just get better and better as the more you do. And I also, one of my very first jobs in film and television was with Oral Roberts. And I just hooked up with Sid and Marty Croft. They had a workshop for training puppeteers. And the first show that they had that I auditioned for was the Oral Roberts show.
Wow.
And I played Grandpa Fudge, and there was a family, the Fudge family, that would create scenarios that then he would preachify about, you know. So, and that was my introduction to film and television, and got my union card, and you know, then it was like, you know, this is what I'm going to do, you know.
Right.
So
wow, that is exciting. I mean, yeah, it's fun hearing these type of stories, how, you know, people get started somewhere, because you got to start from somewhere. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let me ask the next question. This is for you, Kevin. How was it to tour with the Muppet Show? How was it as far as touring?
Oh, that was great. I mean, that was a great experience, because I just graduated from college, you know, and I wasn't, you know, trying to get in. I was living in Orange County, which is about an hour away from LA and Hollywood.
Exactly.
So anytime, you know, auditions and things were, you know, you really had to commit, especially on the 5 freeway, which is our main artery back and forth. And so the Muppet Show on tour, I auditioned for Jane Henson, and was chosen for this 9-month tour across the U.S. And it was through V Corp, and V Corp had already done Sesame Street live in arenas and theaters for 5 years, or 5 previous years. And so this Muppet Show was the first time it was full body costumes of the Muppets, but they needed a puppeteer to do Robin the Frog and the Rats in the Balcony and the Muppet Babies. Wow. And so that's how I got onto that tour. And it was great, because, you know, the touring around the US on a bus with, you know, a bunch of performers and stuff, it can be really fun. And we had a good time. And that's where I met my wife.
Oh, did you? Wow. It seems like a lot of puppeteers meet their wives, like, that's awesome. Yeah.
She doesn't like it when I say this, but, you know, she played the role of Miss Piggy.
No way. Did she?
Oh, that's why I fell in love with her, of course.
Oh, that's right.
But no, she's an awesome performer, and we just fell in love, and we've been married 33 years now.
All right. We're gonna have
in show business. That's monumental.
Yeah.
I just turned 33, so that'll date you right.
Yes, he did. He just had a birthday.
Pay attention to the
belated birthday again. Her birthday. Yeah, he's spoiled.
Man, so when I was born, y'all got married.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's so awesome.
That's phenomenal. I can get some wisdom from you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, Kevin. You got to write a book on that one.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say also about the Muppet Show on tours, that's where I met Jim Henson. So Jim came to the show when we were in Long Island, and he came to the show, and that's where we met him, and it was great. I mean, Jim was such an inspiration, and such a quiet giant, kind of, in a way. I mean,
right? I heard he
was kind of a mild-mannered kind of guy with you know, just a super neat guy, and so. In fact, my wife Susan and I became real good friends with Jane, his wife Jane, and Jane was really fun, and she'd take us out to lovely dinners and things, and she spoiled us. It was lovely. So yeah, it was great. It was a great tour, you know.
Yeah.
And
yeah, how long? You said the tour went how long for?
It was 9 months.
9 months.
Yeah,
wow. But did it feel like it because you had so much fun? I mean, it didn't feel like it, right? Because you had so much fun.
I mean, it's funny because you know, if we had on our day off, we would go to like the mall, and every single mall in America is about the same.
Exactly,
you know?
Exactly right. Yeah. Unless you go to Rhode Island, I think there's this. It's like the small.
Yeah, that's a tiny mall. That's a
tiny mall. Yeah. Wow, that's good to know. All right, Matt, you on. What made you want to teach puppeteer? You got the workshop going on. You're the workshop boy.
Yeah, so I am a little bit. I've been teaching workshops for over 5 years, at least at a kids camp that we do. And so it's funny that Kevin said he did one of his first productions was Jonah and the Whale, because last year I taught we did a puppet. We usually do a puppet song, and it's a kind of an arts camp. And so I, of course, teach the puppetry stuff. And so we taught the Newsboys song that was from the VeggieTales movie, Jonah. And it was the Jonah song. And so it was in the belly of the whale. We did it in black light, and we actually made some whale prop stuff, and we had Jonah in and out of the whale, and we had even like some snails that popped out of their shells, so we had like black light, just everything. And so it was a lot of fun to teach the kids. So what made me want to do it is just the love of puppetry, of course. And
I mean, you gotta have that.
You gotta multiply. If you're like good leaders, they multiply themselves, and so helping other people learn the craft and sharing it. I've always loved, if I have a passion for something, I want to share that with other people, and especially kids. I have a heart for kids, and
you can tell when it comes out, kids' faces, they love that, right?
It's a blast. It's like a cartoon come to life.
Yes,
that they can hug and high five and literally talk to. And
you remember when you were a kid, like you said, that it was basically how you felt, and then you was like, I want to make sure I give that same love, like you said. So that's pretty cool. That's awesome. Awesome.
Absolutely.
All right. So, Kevin, what inspired you to, co-create and star in the Timmy the Tooth, which aired on Nickelodeon? I mean, you don't got to brag much, but I got you.
Well, this is my opportunity to brag.
I know.
Yes.
My wife is sick of hearing it.
There you go.
I was working on Pee-wee's Playhouse. I did Pee-wee's Playhouse. And during that time, I was also waiting tables, and one of the fellow waiters was a prop builder and a model maker. And I was helping him with a Halloween installation.
Okay.
And he goes, yeah, so you're a puppeteer? And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, do you have your own show? And it was like a big kick in the ribs. It's like, well, I guess I don't have my own show. I probably should create one. So, I mean, it's interesting how, you meet people in your life, and on your journey, someone says something that just resonates. And
that's true. That's true.
So because of that, I went to a creative partner friend of mine, James Murray, who's also a really brilliant puppeteer.
Okay.
He already had a kids company, a kids party company. And so I approached him and I said, hey, let's write a puppet show that we can do for parties, and, see if we can generate some stuff. Right. And so we created a variety puppet show with whatever puppets we could find, because we're not really good builders. We rely on other people who have those professional skills.
Right.
And we created Timmy the Tooth, which was a variety show.
Right.
It was the Timmy the Tooth variety show, and his pal was Brush, and it was that combination of Timmy with his like dog Brush.
Right. I remember.
Growing
yeah,
up.
we
did all the VHS tapes.
Yes, we did.
I'm fanboying out a little bit, but just keeping it with
No offense.
Well, so the show was totally different. I mean, it was a variety show. So we had, we did instead of Little Red Riding Hood, we did Little Green Riding Hood, because we had a green little girl puppet. So so we would do that sort of stuff and song things and whatnot. And then we took it to a theater where we actually sold tickets for a theater, like a 99-seat theater.
Wow.
And as we were breaking down the stage, we thought, you know what, we should try to pitch this as an actual show. Because at that time, Barney was really big, and all this major studios were questioning, how did Barney become so big? Because they're a nobody. They were a Texas oil guy who gave his wife a lot of money to produce Barney and would do,
okay.
I mean, I don't know the whole story, but
I see you see that's new to me. It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah, it took the studios by surprise, because they were selling tons of videos, and VHS was the thing at the time. So we came in right at the right time and pitched we adapted the show where Timmy was like a adventurer. Instead of like a show host like Johnny Carson. And so, and that seemed to work really well. And so it was, we had a great team of artists and people, and we pitched the show to Universal Studios, and the team at Universal, they got it. They got it right away, because we had pitched it to Disney, 20th Century Fox, all over. I mean, we pitched it all over, and we were determined to sell. Right. And so when Universal, I remember one of the meetings, we had the big executive meeting where it was all the divisions, the television department, the merchandising department, the studio theme park stuff, so it was everybody there, all the suits,
all the suits. Yeah. Wait, once you in all the suits, when you was in there, was that a moment you like, I can't believe I'm sitting?
Oh man. Well, it was a triumph, because, it took us months to get meetings and to make these things happen.
Yeah.
And I remember my partner, we had two creative partners, James Murray and Dina Faboni. And Dina was a producer, and she was really energetic and whatnot. And right before we went in, she's gonna hate me for this, but she goes, "I think I'm gonna be sick."
Oh no!
and in my mind, I'm thinking, "You can't be sick right now. No, you cannot. Hold it in. Hold it in."
This is bad timing.
Bad timing. And so the whole time we're doing the pitch, I'm thinking she's going to keel over or she's going to have to like run out of the room. And so it worked out really well. And when one of the executives kind of stood up and started to talk about ideas of how to promote and do things, I thought, oh, this is good. This is good.
You're like, it's actually happening.
It's happening. And we were nobody producers at the time, but I had worked enough in the business to surround ourselves with the right people. Right. And that was great because it was all of my friends and colleagues that were puppeteers. We got them on the show, and we just had a really good experience. It was a good experience for us, and it like set the stage for what's the next one now,
Right.
Yeah.
So that is cool. I can just imagine and feel that because I've been in situations where I can't believe I look around the room and stuff that I've done in entertainment and I'm like, I can't believe I'm right here. I can't. This is happening. But yeah, that's why I asked you. I'm like, you probably like this. Is it actually truly happening?
And it's good to hear, especially as as a young puppeteer growing up,
right?
That you guys, both of you, your journeys weren't easy, and nothing was like
exactly. And that's why this show is about because we want to make sure it just doesn't, 2-minute, second, it happened in like a day.
That's true. It takes a lot of perseverance and luck.
Gotcha.
That's true.
Gotcha.
That's true.
Gotcha.
I got you. Yeah. No. And you want to ask the question to me?
Yep. So Matt, this question's for you. Did you ever think that puppeteering would appear on social media?
You know what? Mostly no. Mostly no. I didn't think that because what I first knew as social media was like back in the MySpace days, and MySpace. I mean, other than of course like the Muppets and things like that, like not necessarily personal puppetry, but I did jump into it as far as like Facebook. I started a group years ago. Because I was so into puppetry, I would watch the behind the scenes video. And I love hearing this stuff from Kevin because, and I even ask you, Justin, all the time. I'm like, can we see some bloopers? Can we see some behind the scenes stuff of what you're doing? Because I want to know the blunders. I want to know the behind the scenes. So I would watch the Fraggle Rock behind the scenes stuff. And I would watch the interviews with like Steve Whitmire talking about how these puppeteers, they loved even coming in and not just like, this is the love of it. They wouldn't just love stepping into and doing their own scenes. They loved even right-handing and like, which in puppetry is like most people are right-handed and they'll use the mouth and they'll do the left hand. And so they need someone to do their right hand. And so I started working that into our kids' church and like having people learn and like, here's the right hand. I had one guy do my right hand one time and he was just supposed to basically hold the microphone. He had his right hand to hold a microphone and his hand was just flailing all over the place. And I'm like, that's not what I want you to do. And I basically just had the puppet react to his own hand acting. I'm like, my hand is just going wild right now. I don't know what. I think I got some spasms. And so
you have to dude him. You had to dude him, right? Say, dude.
Well, it was like a country puppet. So he's like, oh my God, I've got something going on. I think I had something in my coffee this morning. But it's these conversations like this to where I loved having. And so I created just like a Facebook group. And then, so that was like the bit of like, it was like the 5 people on Facebook that I knew that were puppeteers. It was like other kids pastors and like, some people from Orlando that work in Disney and things like that and do puppetry. And so I did have the glimpse of social media puppetry, but I mean, now that's like my whole thing is all the social media. I mean, TikTok is the biggest thing I do with puppetry right now. And
you do it so well. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Oh, Stop.
So
it's the
well.
funniest thing.
You have energy. You have this energy about you. This is why I wanted to interview you too and bring you on with another puppeteer, because it just seemed like the puppeteers, you can't be like sad.
You both have this infectious energy.
Yeah,
that's always, you guys are always like, just, I don't know,
it's on it.
It's awesome.
And I was watching that, like, you can't be a sad person being a puppeteer.
Can't be Eeyore. No, I'm a puppeteer.
It's too fun.
Yeah,
it's too fun.
I love it. It's always laughter.
It's nurturing your inner child.
Yeah,
it is. Like, well, it's what the professionals and like the Muppeteers and the Kevin Carlsons say. It's just like all your energy and your acting goes into like from your elbow up to your fingertips, and it's like you channel all of that into this right here.
There you go.
And it's phenomenal. I mean, I have the majority of my videos on TikTok are literally my hand and eyeballs. It's very Ubi style, and like it's this.
You know what's funny? That's what Justin, remember telling me you went on an audition with Disney.
Yeah, and I remember that was that's the structure.
They gave him that.
Yep.
That's
all you got.
Alone, come to light.
Yeah.
As you guys know.
Yeah. So. That was interesting. Wow. Well, okay.
I teach puppetry too for actors that are auditioning for like Avenue Q or.
Oh yeah.
And it's always fascinating to me how most actors kind of get into it a little easier, but then like I had a set decorator who was dabbling in puppetry, and so I was working with her, and I could tell she just didn't have the chutzpah. She learned if it was a saxophone, she was making noise, but not really making music. So it's interesting how some and people, that first initial like I'm gonna do puppets. Right. And when they start to do it, then they realize, oh, there's a weirdness, there's a disconnect, and there's a whole like, what am I doing? And it's fun to watch these people hit the wall and then come back and go, okay, I with some techniques and things that they get better, and all of a sudden it's like the flower blossoms, and they start to really get it.
The light bulb goes off.
I think Justin learned that most women, the reason why there's not many of women puppeteers because of the
for some reason even me trying to teach my girlfriend a little bit, because her voice is just perfect.
Yeah, she's good for voiceover. Yes,
but Kevin, it was the same thing.
She does great.
Yeah, trying to get her to make this. Have all that energy come out of this. It was the toughest thing, and I don't know why. You think ladies, because they talk with their hands, and maybe because I'm part Italian, it's just easier. But it's a hard. I mean, that could be a question too. Do you guys think? From training others, do you see more males get it quicker? Yeah. Or would you guys say more females get it quicker?
Yeah.
No, I think it's equal.
Is it?
I do think it's equal. Yeah. And I think, there's always been this it's kind of been a boys club, and I don't really agree with that, because there, Jim Henson always had women puppeteers like Karen Prell and Louise Gold. So
wasn't his wife? His wife was
Jane was a puppeteer.
Yeah, she was a puppeteer. Yeah. So
I grew up on Lamb Chop with. Just amazing.
Yeah,
dude.
Right.
So the learning curve. I think the backbone is acting. Basically, I mean, if you're if you got a little sense of ham in you, then you can puppeteer. You just have to let go and make it happen.
So, I noticed you are with Kevin. You're with CESD. He was also with CESD.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. Same one.
He was trying. Well, it's funny because he was trying to get on. He was with and acting with CESD, but then when he went switching to puppetry, then it was kind of.
I was under Pat Brady at the time. She was telling me like, you're too kind of a little young. Yeah. So when you get older, because I didn't understand at the time, but now seeing that your arm has to be up for hours and hours and hours on end. Yeah.
Yeah, it's physically demanding too. That may be a reason why there's not as many women puppeteers. But I'm telling you now, there's a lot of women.
Yeah.
I've got X out of jobs because they're. They need women. So, but that's good. And I'm with Pat Brady at CESD.
Okay. So there you go.
Yeah, she's great, and she actually handles a lot of the LA puppeteers as well as a few New Yorkers too. So.
Oh yeah, you're with the LA Puppeteers Puppet Guild. Yeah. There you go. I didn't even know they had that stuff. I was like, puppeteers have guilds and agencies.
Puppeteers of America.
Of America, yeah, that's crazy.
We're part of the Screen Actors Guild. We're actors, and we make we're principal performers. So we're treated as Tom Cruise and Gary Oldman and
right.
Who else? Tom Hanks.
All the other ones, yeah.
Well, Kevin, I guess this could be another question too. I'm adding on. For you, because you've come from the film and television side of things. For you, I guess it'd be the same question. Are you surprised by the growing number of puppeteers on social media? Do you like that outlet better? What have you seen change in recent years?
Yeah, I've noticed there's a lot more social media puppets. So people, but it's a lot of it is not very good. I mean, it's kind of it's a swipe through. It's like, I'm not gonna.
That's why we got to train them.
Yeah, there you go. You're the workshop.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is now with the pandemic, we audition at home now, so you have to know how to set up your camera and know how to audition and send off a recording of yourself, and so that's a big thing. And so a lot of puppeteers now. Who I'm training a couple of people right now, and it's like, you got to get used to this style of auditioning. You're not going to be, you send in an audition tape, so you have to really direct yourself and make sure you're comfortable with what you're sending, Right. And there's some technology involved, which always stymies a lot of people too. But yeah.
Now, do both of you, as this question is for both of you. Now, I noticed that. Because I'm bringing him in because it's good that you guys are, telling us this, that when it comes to the monitor, and then because when he was doing, he did something with Jim Henson called Possibility Shop. And so basically the thing is the monitor versus, putting your hand up and then you have to look at the monitor.
It's always flipped.
It's always flipped. How hard was it for you guys? Or have you, Matt, ever worked with something like that with the monitor? Because
I have a little bit. It's funny. I actually did a workshop with Bird Call, which is some of the Orlando puppeteer guys. Cool. And so I got training with them because they do a lot of that with their own YouTube stuff and things like that. And it's reversed on screen. Whatever you're doing, it's all backwards, and they call that the Muppet style, to where they'll even say, like, you have to just think backwards, and it's just because you're just crazy. You're crazy. You work with puppets. You do all these things, and so it is really tough. Right. And there's even options on your own phone, and when you go live for TikTok and things like that, you can even flip things around. So it's like if you want to practice, or if you're doing it on iMovie, that's usually the way things are. Right. Backwards. I don't do as much of that stuff, but that's the nice thing about social media. On your phone, most everything, it goes the same way. Right. Which I always thought, I'm like, with Muppets and Jim Henson, I'm like, didn't they have the technology back then to just flip it for themselves? Couldn't they have done that? But that's still the way to this day that even like Sesame Street and the Muppets work. It's all still backwards monitor.
Yeah. With Sid and Marty Krofft, they had the reverse.
They had the reverse? Oh, okay.
But the Jim Henson style is just, it's just what the cameras do. And so once you acclimate to it, and once your headspace is all about it, then it's easy.
It's easy. It's kind of natural.
Comes very natural.
Once you're a backwards thinker, you just think backwards all the time.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah. Well, that basically, I always wonder what, the mind of puppeteers think when they would have, like when you have a different puppet on, have you ever gotten someone throwing a character, like, hey, here's a puppet, give it a character? Like
a Kevin Clash, where I don't know if you guys know that story.
Saw his story, yeah.
Elmo. Have you guys ever been in that situation at all? And if so, how did you get into that mind space? Okay, I got to create a character. And how does it start from this to,
oh my God,
Timmy the Tooth, or Miss Chickers, or,
Yeah.
I worked with the Hensons when they first started Puppet Up, which is an improv show, basically. And it was with the groundling structures for improv. And that's what happened. However, they had a big rack of puppets and characters, so that they would set up, you'd go pick a character, and then they'd set up the scene. So you had to kind of adapt to whatever your character was. If it was a warthog, then you could play the warthog in the scene. So
that's cool.
It was super fun. It was super fun. And I was working with them, but then I landed the Imagination Movers in New Orleans. And so I had to leave that show to go do that.
Wow.
And,
Yeah. Were they sad to see you go? They probably were sad. They like, don't leave. No. That's cool. That is so cool, though. Wow. All right. So, you guys are answering these questions like pretty fast. We zoom into. I think Justin has another one, or
So this will be for the both of you.
Yeah.
Do you believe that puppetry will be around for years to come?
Is it something that's just a fad or a trend or whatever, like fashion, or what do you think? What do you?
I would say it goes in cycles. I mean, it's real hot for a little while, and then it kind of dissipates, and then nobody cares, and then it picks up again. But puppetry is one of the oldest forms of entertainment. Before there was television or social media or anything, there was puppet shows. And there's a picture of kids back in the 1930s. There was no television or there was no entertainment. So when a puppet show came into town, it was a big deal.
Wow.
And you see the expressions on these kids' faces, and they're just like in awe. And it's like, that was the thing at the time. And, puppetry has been used for like, indigenous people that would set up how they're going to, storytelling, and then also how they were going to attack if they had to attack or protect themselves, and they would use puppets in order to tell the stories. And so, it's going to be around. It's not going anywhere. I mean, it's going to go somewhere because someone's always going to create something new and exciting and different, and that's what we need on social media, is the different kind of things. And I love bird call. Bird call's fun. It's a fun thing. Yeah.
Right.
There's a handful that are fun to watch, and I like the Dylan Gale idiots. Do you watch
I know Dylan. Yeah.
Ryan Dillon, who does a lot of Kip. He does Kip.
Yeah.
It just makes me laugh. He just
with his he got a sweater, his glasses, and he's just like
he's nutty. He's a nutty guy. And I got to work with him when we did the Muppets at the O2 and at the Hollywood Bowl.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's cool.
Wow. Now how was that with the Hollywood Bowl? I mean,
on a bigger
scale. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That was one of the highlights of my career, basically, of being able to be part of the Muppets, that presenting to the live audiences. It was like 18,000 people at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
And there was even more at the O2. And, you could see we had little rollies stools that we could roll around on and stuff. So the audience got to see on the monitors what we were, presenting, but then you could also see how we were doing it, on stage.
Wow.
And super fun. And
that's so cool.
I will say at the Hollywood Bowl, there was a fireworks show at the end. And so we were all out on stage for the big finale, and the fireworks would light up the audience's faces, right? And you could scan the audience, and everyone was just joyous. Everybody was happy. And are we in Los Angeles?
I don't think you ever find a sad person in the audience or whatever. That's so cool. Well, that's when you're doing your job, basically.
Yeah, it was satisfying to know that we conquered, and we came and made people enjoy and have a good time. And
right.
So that was the thrill.
Hey, Matt, have you ever also, what's the biggest scale you worked since Kevin has did this, the Hollywood Bowl? He hasn't did Madison Square Garden.
Oh, man, absolutely nothing compared.
It's coming. What is your biggest,
the cool things with what I've gotten to do is these camps. We got just hundreds of kids coming in, and one of the characters, it's so funny. It just like, we came in where we workshop and meet for these camps, and of course you do the message and all the worship and all the things, but then we come to, for lack of a better phrase, the entertainment portion, but it's also at the same time we try to teach them as well. And so I brought in this character. I'm like, oh man, if we could do what they did with Big Bird and basically make him one of the kids, and we're teaching this character. And just like on Sesame Street, they teach Big Bird. And so through teaching Big Bird, the kids get to learn. And so I'm like, man, what if we had a character that was more of, and I already had one, he's a surfer dude and whatnot. And so I'm like, all right, what if we teach the older kids that are too cool for all the little kids stuff. And like, they're like, I'm basically a teenager and things like that. So it was a big stage. We have just large audience, just full of kids. It's this camp where kids come for a full week. And it's crazy. Like, that character was just an extra character that we picked him up, and it was a little Sunny Puppets thing. And I'm like, all right, what if we did this? And we pulled him out we had a lifeguard chair, which here's some fun. This is like what Muppets does, like with the Studebaker, and like just you got Fozzie and Kermit driving the Studebaker, and it's amazing. So we had a lifeguard chair. Of course, I had a what's it called? The surfer puppet. And so I just popped a hole into the stand.
Oh my God.
We covered the inside of the lifeguard chair and stuck it on wheels. And I literally had him roll out, and I'm inside this lifeguard chair rolling out, and the kids are like, what is this crazy? So we're rolling it out on stage, and you can kind of, because there's the Boon Raku kind of style that Muppets did for the O2 and things like that, which is, I love seeing, because I'm like, oh man. But then when kids have that mystery, and there was another Church on the Move, they do this robot where basically I have a little science puppet that's being carried out by a robot, just like Oscar the Grouch was in the Sesame Street show. It was Carol Spinney inside this garbage man outfit, which he was also puppeteering Oscar the Grouch. So it's just those fun, creative ways of doing the things. And we brought them out I came out in, we even did a robot the same way. We rolled out in this big giant robot, and like the robot's carrying a box and we wheel them out and all these different things. And so it was just really cool. The kids just went nuts for it, because he became a young version of like Statler and Waldorf, because he was making fun of all of the little stuff. He was just making fun of everything. So instead of like saying, oh, this is like making a cheesy show and not calling it cheesy, you just do exactly what the Muppets did and just say, hey, oh, this is so cheesy. And then everybody's like, it is cheesy, but that's hilarious. And I love it, you know? And so as far as that scale, it's a whole lot of chilling. And it's kind of like the live road, the Muppet Show type of thing. It's just so much fun.
Now, you guys must feel weird. Does it feel weird? I mean, it seems like puppets go through a lot when they get squished up into the most compacted area.
As puppeteers, you gotta be a contortionist.
And you're like, hey, I'm doing it for the peoples. Yeah, but I mean, I think it's
and I'm 6'4".
Wow.
So it's not easy.
Yeah, you like have to get the knee up,
get under the table.
Go there, do it. Yes. Wow. Hey, now I'm trying something new here with this interview. Now, since it's you two, would you like to ask each one a question that you would want to know, anything would you like to know?
Definitely me. I
have
some questions. So I definitely have two, and it's from your beginnings, Kevin. What was like one of those early memories of like your church style puppetry that you remember, that's like just kind of maybe a little fun story or fun memory that you have, like early beginnings, like, all right, this is kind of definite was beginning of puppetry stuff, and in church that you remember?
I worked with like nursery, preschool, like during the sermon, like.
Oh, wow.
So I was kind of in charge of these kids, and I remember I got to entertain them or do something, and I had a puppet, and I started to just go and work the puppet and talk to the kids, and then all of a sudden I realized, hey, they're responding really well to this, and then it's like, I can do this, So, yeah, I mean that was kind of like oh, okay, this is good. I can do this.
That's so cool.
That is.
Do you remember what kind of puppet it was?
Boy, it's a long time ago. No, I don't remember. It was like a Muppet style puppet, like a frog. I think it was some sort of frog.
Gotta have the frog.
See?
Not Kermit.
It was like
Lurbit. I know, right?
Lurbit the frog.
Lurbit, no, Steve the frog.
Steve the frog. Okay. All right. What's the second question, Matt? Was that the second?
So, and then this is a big one, because you were talking about you did a name drop, so I got to talk about the name drop you did with Jim Henson. What do you remember, like, as far as what was his connection to just the show that you were working on? Obviously it was a road show, so it was a little different than the exact Muppet Show, but did he have any sort of direction towards you guys? And do you remember as far as like any connection as far as his directing you guys, or was it more like a separate type of thing? You had your own director stuff.
Oh, no. He was just very blunt and told me, here's some tips and ideas to get a little better,
Mm-hmm.
But I worked with him too on the Muppet Vision 3D.
Oh yeah.
So
look at it.
That was
Awesome.
And
hey, that's cool.
That was his last directorial project. Yep. And I have a story. So several of us were doing like these small world characters, you know, Disney-esque puppets that were a little cheesy, and we were doing a little dancing and whatever. And so it was kind of in the background a little bit. And I remember, you know, looking at the monitor and working my character and dancing and doing the thing. And then another character came behind me. And I'm going, well, who's that? And I look over, and it's Jim. Jim had like got off of the director's chair, grabbed a little small world puppet right next to me. And I was like, that's Jim.
Oh my God.
And I remember I said, I at the end of the take, I think I said to him, I was like, I don't know if I was that good. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to have to kick you in the shins.
Oh, that's not right.
He was joking, of course. But
oh, yeah. I think you wouldn't mind. You're like, do it, because you're Jim Henson.
He told me the story.
I will let you.
In the Japanese bunraku style, you know, you do a foot for, you know, months before you get to be a hand or something.
Right.
If something wrong, they do kick you in the shins.
Really? Oh my God. No, okay, that's not good. You'll learn fast.
A little pain on
Violence.
Oh my God. All right, Kevin. What question? You have a question for? I know you guys never met. This is more exciting when you just getting someone that's a puppeteer and you just, you know, fan basing or fanboying. Or But Kevin, do you have anything to ask Matt?
I'm intrigued by your puppetry training, because I'm training people too, and it's like sometimes you'll say, do you have like something that you can tell them, or some sort of way to let them get out of themselves and let the puppet be? Is there any? Do you have any tricks like that, or
the difference? You know what's funny is the difference in, because I work mostly with kids. Okay. So it's pretty easy with them, actually. And so the difference I actually have to tell probably the adults, because I do have some adults, like they'll have the counselors and their leaders come in with them. And so kids, of course, they're getting out of themselves and they're doing it. Yeah. But I do every now and then I'll have kids that are just the shy ones, and it's like, and ultimately it just goes back to just have fun. It's just have fun with it, like enjoy it. And I get back to them, I'm like, you're not the one that's the puppet. Like, no one's gonna see you, so don't worry about what you look like. You just make that thing come to life. Right. And so because they always get the shy thing, and that's the best thing, and that's where it's been really cool, because the shy kids can then shine. Like, I stuck a kid there was like the one kid in this last year's thing, and it's on my YouTube if you wanted to look it up. Okay. But and we did the Jonah and the Whale thing, and I stuck one kid who was not in the puppetry stuff, and he just was not doing it. He would just throw them or whatever, and I'm like, you know what? I got an idea for you. And so, of course, Jonah takes place, and he's supposed to go to Nineveh. And so I stuck him, and I had a sign it was like an arrow, and it was a black light arrow that said Nineveh on it. I'm like, you're going to be my sign twirler, buddy. And so he literally had like a mask and like a snorkel. So it was like, you're under the sea. We're all got these fish and everything under the sea. So you're going to be the snorkeler that's under the sea, and he's sign twirling. And that in itself is puppetry there. You're making this thing come to life. And I was like, believe it or not, you're puppeteering. And so it's just finding those angles and finding what works, because it's different stuff works for different people. And that particular kid, he didn't need a puppet. He needed it like just, all right, you're going to twirl. And he just did his little thing. And everybody, like, that was the first thing you saw in the beginning, and everybody's cracking up when they see it. He's like, I'm like, beautiful. It may not be amazing, but he's in it.
Yeah, and he's probably now going to work for Progressive. Right?
Yes!
That is so good.
So I have one final question for the both of you.
Yes.
And I know this is kind of probably hard to answer, but what would you guys like to see in the near future as puppetry evolves? You know, we said it dies and it comes back. Do you guys, like a bird call, do you think there'll ever be a group that will be established as the Muppets are now? Like bird call, could you guys see, like, or, you know, could you guys ever see another The Muppets coming up in the near future?
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, you know, the Muppets.
I hope so.
Yeah, definitely. The Muppets, they sold to Disney, and Disney is still kind of a little struggling of how to really kind of keep them alive and going. We still do, but it takes them forever. And but I also think that, you know, I pitch shows to try and sell, right? And they always want you to have airtime or like a YouTube channel or some place where they can see stuff. And so you need to bring followers with you, you know?
Yeah.
And same with actors. The actors that have more followers, if it's down to 2 people for the same role and they're trying to decide which one, whoever has more followers will most likely get it, because it's like eyeballs to their show or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of for us older guys, you know, it's like, oh man, I have to do this now, you know. I have to try and get followers.
I know, you're like, I already learned this part. Now I gotta get some followers. Yeah, that's the hard part for it. Yeah.
But Matt, for you,
yeah, I think so, and I really hope so. Like we've been talking Bird Call, and so they're getting some good promotion here today. but they would be a great one. I would love to see Bird Call get up there with like even the Muppets or another group like that, because then you start getting different. And I'm going to go a comic book and nerdy route, but you get different universes, and you have like, now you have the Muppets and Bird Call, or you have like the DC and the Marvel, and then they're connecting universes, and you see these different things to where it's like, oh, what about them, or how are they doing it? And, you know, and there's all the comparisons, and it can be a little like disunifying, but at the same time, there's a lot of unity in it as well, because then you got back to movies like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I mean, then you had the Looney Tunes and Disney characters thrown in the same one, and a lot of that type of stuff. So it just becomes even more fun, and you get more room for creativity and more content. That's why I love doing workshops, is because I want people to have the same passion, because it's a blast. And when you learn it and you get into it, just like everybody that's watching this, as they learn it, hopefully some people want to just pick up some ping pong balls and put them together and make a puppet and start somewhere with that, you know.
Everybody's doing it. Everybody.
It's a blast.
You can do it too. Come on, peer pressure.
Yes.
No. All right, so we are going to. I'm not like we're not having fun. There's one more question? Okay. You know,
there's one more question there.
It's Diva.
Oh, really?
Yes. Pan. He wants to know, do you have any cookies?
No, but good to see you.
Okay, I'm going anyway.
I love Pan, man.
Had to bring him out. All right, now it's all on you guys.
Yes. No. Okay. So here we go. Here we go. You can break. I know puppeteers got to have some puppets with them. So if you don't mind to answer this in you guys' puppet style, I call it speed round. We call it speed round because, you know, you answer pretty fast, but you don't really run nothing, but it's like, it's fun. We have fun with it. So
yes.
Thanks for participating. Anyway, so here we go. First,
we'll give you time to get your.
Oh, get your time. I'm sorry. I'm so used to. Yeah. You got your stuff?
Kevin, who do you got, Kevin?
Oh, let me see. Joey. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, yes. All right,
Nice.
who should I grab? I got like a couple. I got just my hand. I've always got him, Danny.
Oh, yeah.
But I got Miss Chickers and Wade. What do you think?
No, it's up to you. You go
That's
for
a tough one.
You go for it.
No idea.
What do you think, Justin?
What do you think?
You can wait it out if you want to.
Oh.
Wait a second.
Wait a minute. Wait a second.
Wait a second. Hold a minute. Dude, Pan is just my favorite. I love it. So.
There he is.
Oh, dudes. Yeah.
Yay.
Yes.
Hey, I bet you speak dude. Do you speak
dude?
Dude.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I'm going to go to Dude's house later, dude. You want to go to Dude's house with me?
Dude, I would love it. I love your hat, man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. It's got a little floppy little thing here. I can just look. Oh, there you are.
Love it.
Hey, wake up over there. Wake up.
They're sleeping.
They're out.
They're out.
They sleep with their eyes open.
That's right.
Oh.
All right, here's the speed round, you guys. So are you a morning or night person?
Oh, definitely a night person.
You look
definitely.
I'm a morning person. When I spend the night with people and they're in the morning, I'm like, bros, let's get up, let's do it. They're like, shush. Too early. Too early.
All right, speed it up. Say, good day, mate, in Australian accent.
In an Australian accent.
Huh? Oh, good day, mate.
Awesome.
Good day.
Good day, mate. I think you're supposed to say, like, instead of saying bacon, you're supposed to say beer can in an English accent. Bacon. Wait, what is it?
There you go. All right. Godfather or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Oh, see?
Star Wars.
Star Wars for you too. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
See? You both on it. You both on it. All right.
Look, you got Fozzie Chewbacca here.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. What is one of your weird quirks?
I like to sell jewelry. Kind of a quirk.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Is this my weird quirk or Matt's weird quirk?
Both are yours.
My weird quirk is how I do my hair in the morning. It's pretty simple and quick.
There it is.
Boom, done.
Impressive.
Matt's weird quirk is probably just the whole puppet thing. Matt's weird with doing puppets. It's crazy. He loves those things.
Got you. Okay, describe yourself in 3 words.
Never am boring.
Oh, no way. You got the cool hat on. You're not boring.
Never am boring.
Mine is Shaw Dude Bro.
Shaw Dude. Oh, you're simple. There it is. That's simple. And then my last one is, what TV sitcom family would you be a member of? That should be easy.
Ooh.
Oh, the dinosaurs.
I
like that. Yeah.
I like the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Mine would be like Boy Meets World.
Oh, yeah.
Be Eric.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I like that.
Well,
you guys.
Good-looking guy.
All right, so this is just out of the bonus, and Justin's gonna add in his little puppet too. In this little, I think, who you got?
The little baby bird.
Little baby bird.
Oh,
what's good, guys? What's good? Wait, what's good? Pizza Hat guy, how you doing?
Yeah, what's going on?
wait, what's your name, my dude? What's your name?
I'm Joey.
Joey. Oh, I like that name. Like Joey Fatone.
Yeah, Joey Fatone.
Yeah.
Want to buy some jewelry?
like that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Not the fat one.
No. You're the slim one.
No, he'd be more like Joey the Foam.
Oh, gotcha. I like it.
Dude.
This is the best. I like this. All age and whatnot.
I can just let you guys
my...
go with it. You go with it.
Hey, that's the burr right there.
That's the burr.
My last question is, what is y'all's motto for life? What's your motto for life?
Never be boring.
Got you.
There you go.
Got you.
Don't sweat it or you'll regret it.
I like it.
Both a t-shirt.
T-shirt, yes, exactly. Joey, that's gonna be on your t-shirt, and Wade, that's gonna be on your t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, here's another one. It's like, don't sweat the petty things and don't pet the sweaty things.
Yeah, that's a problem with some folks. They want to pet me. I'm like, yo. Keep it. My paws ain't just meant for cuddling. You know what I mean? Like, I get in there. Yep.
Roar.
Exactly. Cool. I'm about out of here. Thank you guys so much. That was awesome.
Awesome. You guys
so fun, man.
Love it. All right, so closing. So can you tell us and your viewers what we can expect from both of you from the near future? Any upcoming events or any projects that you would like to discuss or people to watch? I mean, what's going on with you, Kev?
Plug away.
Well, yeah, I've been working just as an actor, film and television. I just finished working on the Tim Allen show, The Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
Ventriloquist dummy that was Tim Allen that I performed, and that was fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
I continue to freelance, and then I also am trying to put together shows to actually sell to television.
Very cool.
Nice.
You know, there's not much money in the social media unless you really, you know, get the kind of followers and viewers and whatnot. But television is, you know, I've made a living off of television, so
Gotcha.
and film as well. And my partner James and I, creative partner, he and I created a show called Crow Police, which is 2 crows who are cops.
Okay.
And
that's awesome.
I can
love it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting that going if we can.
Right.
Cool.
Right. Now, is anything like they can follow you on and plugged in, like, you know, any?
Sure. I'm on Instagram. And
Okay.
It's Kevin CARLSON 1962.
Nice.
Hey.
Wow. Hey, I like that. Yeah.
Love the 60s, man. 62.
Dude, here you go.
Wait for it.
Wait
I got a
for
different guy. Yeah, those 60s, man, are just awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, I like it. Like it. How about you, Kev? What can people?
Matt.
Oh, Matt. Oh, I mean, sorry, keep calling people wrong names. Matt. What about you? What about
Kev twice.
I know.
So yeah, you can find me on Puppet Shack, and that's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and if anybody wants a Zoom puppetry class,
yes,
puppetry workshop, I'm fixing to do one at the end of this month for different churches and just bringing them all in, and anybody who wants to join in on that for Zoom, doing that probably the last weekend of the month, and then we have our camp this summer. It's Kids Aflame. You can look that up for kidsaflame.com. I'm always at that. And Wade will definitely be there.
Yeah.
And so that's a whole lot of fun and absolutely just blast with that. Of course, Scott.
Cool.
And then there's The Dad Life, which you can probably hear my children in the background there.
That's a given. Yes, it is. All right. Well, thanks again, you guys. I appreciate you. Definitely thank you for your time and in sharing your story, because I think everyone has a story, but they should hear it and just get, you know, a lot of information out of it. This is what this channel is about, that we try to create. And we're newcomers too when it comes to, I mean, Stuff Discuss has been going on, but mostly with fashion and stuff like that. But I thought I would get, you know, I've been on the red carpet and interviewing a lot of other, you know, celebrities and other stuff. But I thought I would go another direction with it, you know, not just getting people that are actors, but also behind the scenes, what they do, even the caterer, whoever, you know, but it's good to know exactly, you know, how you need a team of people that do things together. So I really appreciate that. So thanks again. And we'll definitely post everything below for those who wants to follow Kevin or Matt. And then, I will be promoting them and the best that we can. And thumbs up this video. Don't forget to ring that bell, ding, and share this channel. Share it. Yes. And awesome. So thanks again. We are out. Bye.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Hey, nice to meet you, Matt.
Yeah.
Dude, great to meet you, Kevin.